nothing's been too. Days are sunny, nights are blue. Get ahead and fall behind. Press fast forward, then rewind. Here we go again. Here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Hey, here we go again. Round in circles. Round in circles. Crack a smile and shed a tear. Push you away, then pull you near. Wake up early, stay out late. Oh, not that hungry, but I scrape the plate. Here we go again. Hey, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. Hey, here we go again. Round and circles, circles. Yeah. You know it's how it goes. Round and circles. Hey, hey, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Frankie and Nycee radio show on intellectualradio.com. You hear that? You hear that little note above me? That harmonious note that was above me. That's right, my girl is back. What up,
Yes.
Nycee?
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
Missed you.
I missed you too, Frankie.
We missed you. I already kissed you.
Don't be telling everybody.
Okay, so where were you?
Well, I was actually in New York. One of my very, very good friends. She's a Broadway superstar because that's just what she is. Her name is Carla Stewart, and she's actually in The Color Purple. And it was a very wonderful play. So I wanted to go and see her because I haven't seen her yet. It's been on Broadway for about almost a year. Well, actually a year now. And they're ending in January. So I was like, okay, I have to see you now.
Wow.
Yeah, she was in a new role. She was
What did she play?
She was originally
Who did she
playing
play?
Olivia,
Okay.
which is Celie's daughter. Yeah.
Miss
mhm.
Olivia.
Olivia.
Because her eyes are
Because
shaped
her eyes
like
are
a
shaped.
O.
But I saw her in her new role, which was the head church lady, because how it goes is in The Color Purple, they actually narrate the entire play.
Okay.
So she was like the main one. She opens up the show, and it was really a big deal for her. So, as a good friend, I wanted to be there and celebrate with her and, see some of the parties and just go see Broadway. I've never seen the show on Broadway.
That is so cool.
I was very
Did
happy
you sing
about it.
on Broadway? On Broadway.
Of course.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do.
I'm very corny like that, so I had to. I also saw School of Rock while I was out there.
How
with a
was
good
School
friend.
of Rock?
School of Rock was amazing. I've seen the movie plenty of times, and we all
With
know Jack Black.
Yeah.
But I saw it. I can't recall the guy who was the lead character, but what I thought was amazing was that these children were actually singing and playing their own instruments. I mean, It was
Wow.
a disclaimer at the beginning of the show where the announcer, he was like, if just in case you're wondering, these children are really playing their instruments and actually singing. So it
Wow, and
was
I bet they were
amazing.
uber talented.
It was amazing. It was a full audience full of people. Everybody was excited. And I just love the energy and excitement of being in New York.
That is so cool. I am so jealous. I'm really jealous that she got to go to New York.
Don't be jealous. You
I
just couldn't
know I
come back
can't
with
be.
me.
I gotta be jealous of your boogie because I wasn't there. And there's so many great plays out these days. You know, you have the Hamilton play that's out here in
Yeah.
Chicago, and the Bodyguard is coming. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of getting the musical fever. You hear that, Nana? My grandmother's got she's got passes to the opera and stuff. She's in that little group or whatever. Like she's a seasonal ticket buyer. I want to go, Nana.
Yeah, there were a lot of
Please.
plays that I haven't that I've wanted to see, like Matilda. You all know the movie
Yeah,
Matilda.
Matilda.
Matilda, I would love to see that, even though it's for children mainly, but just to see the movie come to life on Broadway.
That would be so cool. It's
That
a
would.
different experience.
Hmm.
It's a different. So, who did you meet from the cast of Color Purple like that really impressed you?
That really impressed me. Um, you know what? They were all very impressive. I actually met the entire cast, but who I loved the most, and I hate that I cannot remember her name, but she played Nettie,
Okay.
and I thought she was beautiful. Her voice was she had a beautiful tone. If anybody out there knows who she is, just if you're watching, just drop her name for me. I thought she was wonderful. I like the girl. Her name. She played Squeak in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, her name was
You just
Patrice.
a big old
Yeah, because
heifer.
I thought that she did a great job as being Squeak, and just the whole the play was amazing. Jennifer Hudson, I mean not Jennifer Hudson, Jennifer Holliday played Suge Avery, but who I really enjoyed was Cynthia Erivo,
Mhm.
who played Celie. I mean, everyone was saying things about how great she is as an actress and her voice. And I'm just telling you guys, please believe the hype because she was amazing.
Wow.
She was amazing. And it was just
Wow.
a great play. I mean, I was impressed with everyone. I mean, if you're on Broadway, you're like at the top. I really
You are
believe
that
that.
stuff. You know what I'm trying to say. You that ish. Yeah, that's
Yes,
real.
I enjoyed. It was two different Misters. Mister who was Celie's husband. So I enjoyed them both. One of them actually is headed to Hamilton. His
Oh
name is
wow.
Isaiah. He's headed to Hamilton in Los Angeles, and Mr. Stampley was the other Mister, and we wanted him to be like a bad Mister. You know how Mister has a terrible character, but he was so good and was singing so well, and he was very attractive, and the entire audience was like, "Well, Celie, he ain't that bad."
Gonna let him slap you a couple times, Seeley.
Let him slap you a couple of
A
times, Celie.
couple of
He ain't that
times.
bad,
Let
but
him kiss and make up.
yeah, I enjoyed the play. Like the church ladies, one of them who moved to Sophia because Danielle Brooks from Orange is the New Black. She was the original Sophia, and
Okay,
she
I didn't
did
know
an
that.
amazing job. She did an amazing job, but it was, her time was over. I guess she's moving on to bigger and greater things, and so I enjoyed the new Sophia. I remember her name was Corinne. These are just people I've just met a couple of days.
That's pretty cool. You rubbing elbows with the cast
Well,
of the color
well,
purple.
yeah, I'll be
Darling.
my good friend, but I was having conversations with them and things like that. So it's just, just to see them in this light, it kind of gave Broadway a new look for me. Like, I've just thought of it as a spectacular place and it's untouchable and it's still spectacular and it's still a beautiful place. But it feels like,
It's more
yeah,
tangible.
it's more tangible.
Yeah, I speak that. I hear prophecy coming in on that message right there.
So,
Uh
needless
huh.
to say, I really enjoyed myself. I always love New York. Anybody who knows me just knows that, like, I just love the energy and vibrations of New York.
That is so
Hmm.
cool. So when did you get back?
So I got back on Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Hmm.
Which and I was preparing for a wedding. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My sister got married Saturday. Congratulations, Mrs. Andrea Knight.
Congratulations.
Mr. and Mrs. Lavelle Knight. I was going to say Andrea Knight, which would be more befitting of their relationship. He understands. Y'all. I'm not roasting my brother-in-law. I ain't saying nothing that he wouldn't admit to. But they got married Saturday. So, Nycee, I got to share one crazy story. And it's not about the wedding. I already shared it with you a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's this thing that happens, and I talked about this a few weeks ago. I don't know who I was with. I think it was Bass. It was last week. Talked about how
He was our
straight,
guest last week, right?
yeah,
Base.
Bass Claiborne.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to him about how awkward things tend to happen. I'm always like surrounded by weird happenings, and I don't know if it's me and I'm some sort of mojo that I carry, but the night before the wedding, we got there quite late to the hotel, and there was this big giant man walking down the hallway. And I'm like, oh, that look like cuz. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, cuz. It was not my cousin, y'all. Not at all, okay? I had my glasses on, I couldn't see. The man walks up to me, and I'm like, oh, I thought you was somebody else. He said, no, man, don't worry about it. I'm looking for Lil C's room. Ladies and gentlemen, Lil C's from Junior Mafia was on the same floor as I was
Now, what
in Buffalo Grove.
Buffalo Grove, Illinois?
Yes.
Random. That's the most
Random. This is what
random.
happens in Frankie Parker's life. This random craziness. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he got a show in Buffalo Grove, like Junior Mafia, Lil C's. And he was like, yeah. I said, where? He said, hell, I don't know. I said, well, I want to know because I'm curious.
Right. Well, explain Buffalo Grove to people who may not know what Buffalo Grove is, because we're from the city. We're from Chicago,
Right.
and Buffalo Grove is like a
It's a very clear
Mhm.
people suburb.
Okay.
Okay. It's on the
clear
north.
people.
It's in the northwest suburbs.
Mhm.
If you're familiar with the expressways, where we were at, we were off of 290 and Dundee Road, really 90 at this point, 90 West, 290 West. They kind of merge at this point in Dundee Road. So
Okay.
we were near Palatine. We were just north of Schaumburg.
Mhm.
I didn't grow up in Schaumburg, but I lived in Schaumburg. So I was familiar with the area at one point. So yeah, this was interesting to me that Little C's was in the middle of Buffalo Grove. So I hadn't seen him yet, right? So the next day is the wedding. I'm running through the hallways. In fact, I think I was cursing on the phone past his hotel room. And about the second or third time I saw him that morning, I walked up to him and I said, well, good morning, Mr. Little C's. And he said, well, good morning. I said, how you doing? He said, I'm good. How you doing? I said, I'm okay. I said, you probably wondering why I'm dressed like this in this big old black sequin dress at 10 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, kinda. And I was like, yeah, I'm here for my sister's wedding. He was like, that's what's up. He was like, it's good to see black folks out here. I ain't seen none yet. Oh, okay. So I made your
You in
day.
Buffalo Grove.
You in Buffalo Grove, honey. Then he goes, well, we're on the elevator, and I said, well, can I get a picture with you? He said, yeah. I forgot my phone. I had to go back downstairs. I mean, upstairs. I come back downstairs and take the picture with him. Introduce him to my husband. I had to run back upstairs for the wedding stuff. I come back downstairs. My husband tells me, Lil C just gave me a bottle of Hennessy for the wedding.
He was being generous.
He was
too,
being
huh?
awfully generous. So thanks to Little C's, we were not stuck drinking all that disgusting wine all day at the wedding. We actually had some hen up in the place.
Lil C said, "Turn up."
What's up, Mercedes? What's up, Freddie? What's up, Shannon? Again, Lawrence. Yeah, so that was my weird moment of the weekend. And I'm like, dog, out of all people. Oh, well, and then let me just say this. My father is probably the biggest and oldest Notorious Big fan on the planet. He's like
Okay.
the dinosaur of Notorious Big fan.
The dinosaur.
So I actually it pointed out to my father, Daddy, that's Lil C's. He said, Lil C's from Junior Mafia with Notorious Big, all straight up. And he went over and talked about how his favorite song was Dead Wrong and all this other stuff, and things began to happen. So that was my weird and random moment for the weekend, and it was awfully awkward. It's definitely Frankie style awkwardness. Yes. Then I went to Subterranean on the next day.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had a gig at the Sub T,
Yeah, I was
right?
at Sub T
Mm-hmm.
with grown folks business with Butterfly and Bass Claiborne. Guys, thank you so much for the invite. I had a ball.
Okay.
People that were on the bill with me were London
And shout
K.
out to Bass Claiborne for being our guest last week.
Yes.
Now he kind of like your co-host
He
too,
was
a
like
little bit.
I called him my ghost.
Your ghost.
My
Okay.
co-host and guest.
And
He was
guest.
my ghost, says Power. So he was actually good. The ladies, oh my God, they were all
Mhm.
over him, Nycee. They were
Well,
sending inbox messages and things. And
oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness! Shout out to our ghost. He has to
God.
come back on the show. Maybe we can get more women listeners.
Yeah, we might. We might get a few more female listeners.
You know.
So we got to talk about one more hot topic, and it's more of a national thing. Okay, so finally Kanye West has this nervous breakdown. And I hate to sound like I'm anticipating someone being sick, but it was necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you got to break down and figure out what's really going on. So did you hear about this, Nycee?
I did.
So what did you think?
You know what? I love Kanye, and I just think whatever help he needs, that he should get it.
Well, they said that November 10th was the anniversary of his mom's death.
Okay.
So for those of you that are late, as
Wow, was it
usual,
that many years?
it's been it was November 10th
November
was
10th.
the day. I don't know how many years it's been though.
Okay. I don't know. I thought 10 years and associated with November 10th.
It might be close almost. It
Mhm.
might be there at least at a halfway mark, more than half of it. I mean, yeah, about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I can't
And then I
remember
saw
how Airways
the whole
out.
list about, I mean, the thing about him saying he voted for Trump. And I don't know if he was doing it just because he's just Kanye and he just wanted to say what he wanted to say. I mean, like maybe, but he didn't vote. So,
He
you
didn't
know.
vote, but I could see him saying he voted for Trump. You know why? Because he has this theory that he's going to run for president. Don't get silent. Don't get silent. He said he's gonna run in 2016.
Okay.
I mean, come on, if Trump can do it, I mean, we could at least give Kanye a shot at the primaries, at least. And she smiles because her mama taught her not to say nothing. She ain't got nothing nice to say at all. But it's the truth. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, Kanye. He had a nervous breakdown. They said he hospitalized himself after he went on his rant at a concert that he had. He's been on tour. Wifey got robbed a few months ago, and she'd been on tour with him, and all these other things. So it's kind of been a little tough situation for Yeezy.
Well, we're sending up prayers out to Kanye West and his family. I mean, like, he's famous. People say what they want to say about him, but he's still a person,
right? And depression's real.
Yeah, and depression is real. We never really talk about depression as much in the Black community. I don't know if he's still a part of the Black community, but
no, his dialect has changed slightly.
I'm just joking, but
I'm not. I'm serious. I'll be kind of concerned.
Yeah,
that Kardashian household it's I couldn't find another word.
Cal Marshall, Kanye for president. His platform will be insurance fraud and mental health.
I hate you so much for that. Insurance fraud, really? Yeah, that's
shout out to Cal Marshall.
Hey, Cal. I'm with you on mental health though. He might use that as a platform. It might be something that he does need to discuss. And I think sometimes too we have to factor in that the whole point of the mental part even coming out in the news is sometimes they want you to think that he's just that crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I really do. I respect Kanye's work, especially a lot of his earlier work because that's just what I'm into. But I think that he's an amazing artist and, he has a lot to say. But I think that media screws up a lot of it because of who he is or who they want us to think that he is.
Well, they want us to think he's insane, like they did a lot of times with other great artists like Prince. There were other, we can go further back in the Harlem Renaissance where people were literally hospitalized because of their thoughts and views about the Black race.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trend. It tends to be a pattern in this society that the crazier you sound, the more truth you might actually hold, but the more you might be led to that point of insanity.
Right, because they want to keep us all
quiet.
Sleep.
But stay woke, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, that's leading to our next topic of discussion, and we do have our special guest in the building. So we're going to take a quick break. Okay. And we're going to bring our guest on and get them up to speed on what we've talked about and all that good stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to call in and talk to us about anything that we've discussed, even if you want to talk about Kanye and him being hospitalized and checking into, that home in the far right wing of the hospital where they have rubber rooms. Yeah, you can call in 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953 on intellectualradio.com, iHeartRadio.
All right, this next song up is Beautiful Dreamer by Carolyn Malachy. Shout out to Kanye West.
Yeah.
Somewhere there's a nothing waiting to become something, fighting all the writing, hiding from the lightning. We are in the suburbs, racing to red lights, having close encounters far away home. Beautiful it's a never-ending story, dying for the glory, living through the pain. You can do anything despite what you've heard. You're on the verge of more than you can conceive. Yeah. The world needs you. You need to be heard. I know it hurts, but I love you here. I love you here. In my heart, in my mind, you're like a light. Beautifully written, you drink the dream. I love you, can't hate it, can't stand it. Oh, I live the lost troubles, never the world is yours. You can do anything. When the world turns ugly, you must think yourself beautiful. When the world makes you feel weak, you must be strong. Please don't give up. Please, please don't give up. Please stay. Keep pushing, keep trying, keep living, keep everything you can do. You can do it. Hey, you can do
Frankie and Nycee radio show on intellectualradio.com.
.com.
Dot com. Dot com. Nycee, I missed you, man. No one can do that with me. Okay. So now we have our special guest on the panel, and we're going to start talking about the subject matter in which we've selected for this week. I want you guys to put your hands together for DJ and artist extraordinaire, Mr. DJ J2.
Hey. Oh,
DJ J2.
that's what's happening. What's going on? Yeah.
Feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty cool now that I got here.
All right. You got trapped in the maze, huh?
It's it's a little confusing.
It's a little suburban. I know how you feel about the suburbs.
Well, I mean, it's not like an emotional issue. It's just a logistical thing. You know what I mean?
Well, we're glad you found your way.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you want to talk about what's been going on in J2's world lately?
Just the usual things. DJing here, working on some projects. I am, if for anybody who does not know, I'm the live show DJ and occasional saxophone player for the Prime Meridian
Yes.
since 2007. I host and am the resident DJ promoter for an event called Heavyweight Soul,
Okay.
which happens every first Friday at the Whistler in Logan Square in Chicago. I also am the curator for the all vinyl in store series at High Park Records, which usually happens every last Saturday of the month. I'm also the resident DJ for an event called Work on the Sabbath, which is put together by Yao Ajuman.
What's up, Yao?
Yeah, Yao is
Gotta get him on the show.
another, multifaceted, interdisciplinary artist,
Yeah.
dynamic young man.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that every second Sunday at the Stony Island Arts Bank.
I think I just saw Sam Trump in some of the pictures.
He was there not for November's event, but for October he was there.
Shout out to Sam Trump.
Yeah,
Friend of the show.
he got out.
Friend to the show.
He got out. We usually have some pretty awesome guests coming in, and it's a beautiful event.
Well, I've come to Hyde Park to see you spin a little bit. I brought my baby, my son.
Yeah.
A couple of times. Tell me about that. I enjoy that. I think that's a really cool concept to have the.
Well, it's funny because it's just with the proliferation of like kind of digital delivery of music, vinyl got kind of pushed into a niche a little bit. Of course, vinyl never really went anywhere, unfortunately, for urban types, black types, in particular. A lot of people they downsized their collections in favor of the digital collection, and what that did is, it basically kind of it added a bigger group of eaters to the table, and the table got smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So actually going somewhere and hearing vinyl is now kind of a rare thing. It was when I started doing all vinyl events, which the first one I did was at a place called the Streetside Cafe, which was in Humboldt Park in Chicago. And I had a residency there for about 7 or 8 years. But the in-store thing is birthed out of necessity. It's a record store. It's one of the only record stores that's still on the South Side. And it's the only one-stop record store on the South Side for sure, where you can actually get new releases as well as used stuff. And we're going, actually our 4th anniversary is next month. And
congratulations.
Thank you. And big shouts out to TJ, Tina Johnson, Funky Mama, who just passed, who actually started doing the in-stores first. And then there was some kind of scheduling conflict. I swooped on in, and then I gave it my stamp. But I'm big up to her because she definitely started it. And it's a thing that we do. We want it's open for everybody. We definitely for the people that I select to come through. It's important that they have an understanding that not only are you there to play, but you're going to be right. People are going to be right in your face. And it's during the daytime, so people, bring their kids. They can bring, they bring like elders in there. And it's just kind of important. I felt like it was a good opportunity with such emphasis on digital stuff to kind of regain that interaction of, putting, schooling people on music. And, you putting them up on new music and new old music. What we do, we definitely play a lot of stuff that you'll never hear on the radio. You might hear it online or something.
I love that.
Yeah, you'll never hear most of the stuff on the radio.
Never. I've never walked in there and actually heard something that I knew. Never.
And it could be by somebody It's just
right. You just don't know it.
Something that you might necessarily be familiar with.
I took Miles in there trying to get him to buy his first album. Like, he's seen record players, because I have a record player at the crib, but I took him in to pick his own album, and the first album that he saw was Michael Jackson's. I want to say it was Off the Wall, a copy of Off the Wall. No, it was Bad. And he almost got it. Like he almost got the album right. And then it was like a bunch of DVDs on the wall, and he saw SpongeBob, and he took SpongeBob over.
Oh,
Damn, Michael Jackson.
No, you were supposed to veto that.
I
purchase.
couldn't
supposed
know.
to
I,
veto.
I,
No,
I
you
wanted him to
could.
make that free decision,
Oh,
because
no,
I
you
want
got
him
sometimes you got
Wait, so it was SpongeBob on vinyl?
on DVD,
On
homie.
DVD.
I'm like, that just crushed the whole concept. Like, but he did play on the record player. I let him, put the headset on and let him play with it and stuff. That's important to me to share that with y'all. And speaking of sharing, I want to get to our topic because we're running out of time, and I want to make sure that we have enough time for people to call
Already?
in. Right? You know what I'm saying? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we
Facts.
need sponsorship so we can expand this show because we broke and we can't keep doing this. Okay. So we want to talk about our topic of discussion. Okay. So, like I said this morning, I got up, usually getting up, getting ready for work, and I turned on Roland Martin because I want to know what's really going on in the news. I don't watch the other
From a
shows
black
first.
person's
I want to
perspective.
hear the right on news. So, Roland Martin's on TV1 every morning. And today he interviewed the infamous Richard Spencer. Do y'all know who Richard Spencer is?
I don't.
You know,
I didn't know until today.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Spencer is the leader of the alt-right group. Okay. And I'm going to give you the definition of the alt-right group. According to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the definition of the alt-right group, aka alternative right group, is a set of far-right ideologies, groups, and individuals whose core belief is that white identity is under attack by multicultural forces using political correctness and social justice to determine white people in their civilization. There is in quotations. Characterized by heavy use of social media and online memes, alt-righters eschew establishment conservatism, skew young, and embrace white ethno-nationalism as a fundamental value. So they're nationalists.
Okay.
Okay. This term was coined again by Richard Spencer back in 2008. 2008 meaning 8 years ago. Right?
When Obama first got in office.
Ding.
Okay. Keep
Hello.
going.
Okay. He heads the
so
white
smart.
nationalist group. No, I'm sorry. It's headed by the white nationalist group, the National Policy Institute. So they set up policies or ideas for policies that eventually go to lobbyists in one way or the other, whether it's blatant nationalism or like hidden agenda nationalism.
Mhm.
So they have that capability. So Roland Martin interviewed him earlier. So I want to share some of the quotes that Mr. Richard Spencer said. Which one do we want to start with, Nycee?
Well, let's start with the one where he spoke. Well, hold on. Let's just go with him saying that white people are Egyptians and they were the ones who built the pyramids.
That was the first statement he made.
That was
Brother
one of the
J2.
first statements he made.
Okay.
He said that this morning.
He
morning.
said this
Oh, okay.
morning that
Is this-
Europeans,
Yeah,
that
you can laugh.
that
It's okay.
Africans. You first off,
Oh,
he
were you
said
about to
that
cuss?
Europeans are white. No, Egyptians were white. They're not black, and they were the ones who built the pyramids. He also stated that we do not need other races in America because we were the ones who pretty much did everything. It wasn't up to other races who helped make America. It was us, and he said the power of Europeans or white
Yes,
people.
it was the European American power that created the United States.
That created the United States.
I'm going to go with, okay, we can start there. Let's start with the history part.
I mean, technically he's not wrong, but it's just what's really behind it. The European power came on the backs of a whole lot of people.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can't really discuss these kinds of things without really taking a proper look. And I mean, anybody who knows, I mean, if Egyptians today are dark skinned, they're fairly dark skinned people, even at the lightest. I've never really seen a white Egyptian before.
Me neither.
So you got to think thousands of years ago, just knowing what genetics are. I mean, come on. I mean, why? It's just like, why you even gotta even get this dude some room? Just go let this
Yeah.
fool be a nut in the corner somewhere.
But I think it was almost needed to be exposed because I think that, I mean, of course, we know that this is a prevalent thought process. Okay, this is something that's always gonna resonate in the United States, it one way or the other, whether it's hidden or absolutely blatant. But I think this generation needed to see that. I think this generation needed to see that it's not that far fetched that people still think like that.
Exactly. Where I first heard of him was, it was, because I'm a Facebook connoisseur, but I saw the video of him at I forget where he was, but it was just a group full of white men, and he was saying that hail Trump, he's going to help make America great again, and they were doing the Nazi salute. So I'm just like, okay, who is this guy? And then for Frankie to send me the link of him on the interview with Roland Martin, it was just like, okay, we need to at least shine some light on this, or at least see where is all of this coming from. And now we know that it started as soon as Barack Obama
came into office. And it didn't really start then. I think it just became more perpetuated. Like it was, it was marketed, pushed more. It was more of a promotion at this point because now it's us versus them.
And it's like we know that a lot of what he's saying and stating is not true, just as people who look into history. But come on now, it really is kind of funny. We are children of the sun.
You say what?
I think he's trolling. Seriously. I mean, we just watched the whole political campaign based on trolling.
Mm-hmm. True.
So that is kind of like the thing is you shoot for the lowest common denominator, and unfortunately, the majority of people they're not heavy analytical thinkers. It's very reactionary. So it's easy to just throw them little sound bites out there, and you get them with that because I mean, you're playing on people's unwillingness to actually fact check and actually do the knowledge. So it's so easy to get people these days because it's just so much leading going on, and it's just not really the type of place where people do research anymore.
Well, it's funny that you say that because one of the lines that Roland Martin kept saying is that you've never come across an educated, well-read black man before. Like that whole interview, he kept repeating that I'm just an educated brother that just knows what I'm talking about, which is why you can't argue with me on these subject matters. One of the things that I found to be hilarious is that one of the quotes he said was white people could have figured out another way to pick cotton. In other words, that he felt that the movement of slavery was a debacle, and it was actually a failure in white Americans, or Euro Americans as he's calling them. That's what he said. This is what he said. This is what he said. This is what this man said.
This is why I don't have TV.
I know. I was telling Nycee you didn't have a TV.
This is why.
But see, and this wasn't. I mean, it was on TV. But the fact, I can't even believe this. I mean, well, actually, I can. It's just like you're saying all of these things, and even if it's for just to catch people's attention, I really do believe that this man believed what he thinks. I mean, like what he's saying.
But he mentioned something about Christianity that was funny to me.
Saying he's a cultural Christian.
I don't know what a cultural Christian is. I know that's like Aryan Nation stuff. That's what I think of, like KKKs that hung people in the name of God. Like that's what I think of. I don't know what else to think of.
And a lot of people have done a whole lot of bad things in the name of God. So
yeah.
In general, when I hear people like that even begin with that, I just kind of tune it out. To me, this is just like it's just what's always been there under the surface. Now everything is kind of up top again. It's not exactly Jim Crow, but it's a real hostile and it's a real pressure environment right now.
Do you think it's going to get worse before it gets better?
I would imagine so, because whereas before, maybe my generation, the generations before that, especially the generations before that, there was always a very physical kind of covering of like, oppression. This was everywhere. Only recently did, for the most part, black people start thinking they got free. For the most part,
Okay.
the struggle has always been real tangible. And, Obama being the president, I feel like a lot of people kind of took a break and acted like it wasn't what it really was.
Like we saw Jubilee, like we reached the Jubilee moment.
Yeah, and it's that's the okie doke. That's
Right.
the okie doke.
Yeah.
That's just what that is. And now you're seeing the boomerang effect of what that brought about. So I think that we're about to see some tougher times, but I'm old enough where I can remember some pretty tough times.
Yeah.
So I don't see it to be really any different. I just see a
Exactly.
lot of other people just becoming aware of just how truly kind of screwed up.
I think it's a, like you said, it's a reality check. Everybody thought that we had overcame when Obama came into the
Wrong.
office. Like it was just gonna, we were just gonna have like our own black
Like
caucus
we're
for
in a
real.
country that has a black president.
Yeah. But
How can
you're
you say
missing
that
the
racism is still prevalent?
but you're missing the fact that they asked this man for his papers when he became president because his middle name was Hussein. I mean, it was still there, it was still prevalent. There was also a few more quotes that I wanted to bring up where he mentioned the forefathers, Richard Spencer, and he mentioned how, quote, clearly they didn't believe in multiracial equality. And then the next quote after that I wrote is, do you really think that all people are created equal in talent, ability, and skill? So what he was saying is that all people are not created equal.
I agree.
You do?
I agree with that.
I don't.
Absolutely.
I don't.
No.
Tell me why.
That all people are not created equal?
No, yeah. Tell me why all people are not created
Just
equal.
because they're not.
I mean, but but on what basis?
I mean,
though?
on genetic, you might be genetically predisposed to certain ailments. I mean, from a physical standpoint, maybe the mom didn't get enough prenatal care. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, in just a real basic kind of a concept, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't think that was what the wording was though when they say all men are created equal. I think that was like the fact that we were human, that we were here on this earth to have certain rights and privileges.
Yeah.
I don't think it really had to do with the talent. I do think that there's a point of equality in us that we come into the world initiating. I think what happens is that people put stuff on us that make us feel that we're unequal.
Well,
you know what I mean?
We're not equal then. I'm just saying, in theory, I understand that we're a blank slate, come in not really knowing nothing. But I think it's just I definitely understand the other side of that equation, because if everybody was equal, then everybody be doing good. It just seems it's a very ideological. I think that was just the whole thing, is that they were putting forth like these ideals. That's all. But I mean, of course, you can twist anything to make it sound right.
I guess it's based upon your Freudian perception of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If people are telling you that you're three-fifths human, then when you hear all men are created equal, the first thing I thought of was that I am a human being. Like I'm not an animal, as if what you have said before in the past. So that's where I was going with it, more about just being that human. But
yeah,
okay.
like our rights. I mean, what we deserve as citizens of America.
Not even citizens, but as human beings.
As human beings.
Because I know as a citizen of this country, I'm not really a citizen. Like I have citizen-like rights. But let me get locked up. And let me catch a felony. And then what happens? Then what do I lose? The things that make me a citizen are revoked from me. And it's in the Constitution that the moment that you become imprisoned is the moment that you become a slave again. That's in the Constitution. I don't know. This is, to me, it was an interesting conversation. And everything that we're talking about now, Roland Martin had a definite rebuttal that Black folks would consider the ultimate checkmate. So if you want to see it, it's on our Facebook page, the Frankie and Nycee Radio Show. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, you feel free to call in 708-223-8953. I know this is a little deep. Last week we had everybody calling in about their favorite club and where they used to go kick it and hang with. And what I tried to tell y'all from the beginning is that we were always going to rotate the energy in this conversation and anything that we did on the Frankie and Nycee radio show. But this is a serious conversation. Your children are going to people that are raising kids in the alt-right group. And you got to be able to identify it as such. So please call in 708-223-8953. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back on the Frankie and Nycee radio show on intellectualradio.com, iHeartRadio.
Hold your head low, bruh. You're not dead, low, bruh. You are brown and this world is black and white, low, bruh. I know how it sounds, low, bruh, but you'll be alright, low, bruh. Yeah, I read this song, make no sense to you. With the world on your shoulders, what can you see? God blessed us all with the gift to pursue. Just clear your mind and you'll feel like me. Yeah. Forget what you read, little bruh. Get the words out your head, little bruh. Those shades of the world's the same, don't you know, little bruh? It only just fades, little bruh. We can't hide your glow, little bruh. Yeah, cause I read this song, make no sense to you. With the world on your shoulders, what can you see? God blessed us all with the gift to pursue. Just clear your mind and you'll feel like me. Yeah. Forget the latest, little bruh. You're the greatest, little bruh. You were made to amaze and bring change, little bruh. It takes one to know one, bruh. So here's one to grow one, bruh. Yeah. I read this song, make no sense to you. With the world on your shoulders, what can you see? God blessed us all with the gift to pursue. Just clear your mind and you'll feel like me. Yeah.
And we're back on the Frankie and Nycee radio show on intellectualradio.com, iHeartRadio with our special guest, DJ J2. Whoa.
J2.
Yeah.
So, where can we find you, DJ J2, as far as like social media? Do you do social media?
I do
Okay.
social media. You can find me all over at the DJ Your Mama Love, TheDJYOMAMALUV. So you can find me on Instagram, Tumblr, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Podomatic. I'm sure I missed something. Instagram, Twitter, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, the DJ Your Mama Love. The DJ Your Mama Love.
Okay, so this is your first time on the show, on the Frankie and Nycee radio show. So we play this game called Frankie's Top 5.
All right.
Okay, so we have to find out what your favorite top 5 things based upon these questions, okay? So you got to answer off the cuff, top of your head, first thoughts. Okay, top favorite club spots to DJ?
Whistler.
2.
Oh, I got to do another one?
Yeah, top 5.
Oh, okay, the Whistler. Of all time?
Of all time.
Sonatech, Whistler, China Club, Slicks, Pajak.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
Paja.
We talked about Page last week. That was one of my first clubs I ever snuck in. Okay,
Me too.
top favorite records to spin right now.
Um, oh wow. That's a hard one. Let's see. Umi says, Most Def, Cold Blooded, Instrumental, Common, um, Bam Bam, Sister Nancy, uh, wow. Keep on doing it, War,
Yeah.
and
Well, we both say that.
I say Platinum Pied Pipers featuring Sarah Deep Inside.
Okay.
Hey, Platinum Pied Pipers.
Top 5 graffiti / mural spots in Chicago.
Oh wow. Used to be the Hall of Fame, which is now Tom Ping Park, which is by Chinatown, right around 18th Street. There used to be a spot, Wall of Sin, that was in the 90s, like out by Stony Island. Let's see. Anywhere the most meeting the styles, so that's various locations. So it's like 59th and Western, 33rd and Albany, and all over.
Okay. Top 5 most annoying DJ questions.
Do you have any Flow Rider? Could you play Single Ladies?
Single Ladies.
Single ladies.
Could you play something that we can dance to? Could you play something different? And don't you have a computer?
Can you look this song up for me, please?
Play this.
Can you play this song off my YouTube? All right, we gotta wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you for tuning into the Frankie and Nycee radio show on intellectualradio.com with our very special guest, DJ J2. Put your hands together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Nycee, it was a pleasure as usual.
You already know.
You already know. Catch us next week, the 29th. We have some very special guests. And look on our Facebook page, the Frankie and Nycee Radio Show. And also go to our YouTube page, the Frankie and Nycee Radio Show.
Yes.
Also, Instagram.
And Instagram. We just got us Instagram this week, and I'm really slow with it. But hey, check us out on the Frankie and Nycee Radio Show.
Thanks so much. We'll see y'all next week. We'll
see you next week.
Salvation don't come easy. Salvation don't come fast. Salvation don't come when you're sitting on your broken